Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. Today we're going to talk about how imperfection is perfection and what that means in the world of balance and cheerleading. So last week on Saturday, did a webinar on balance and the ankle, and we talked about how it's important to be able to let ourselves fail, let ourselves wobble in our exercises, in our movement. We need to struggle a little bit because that's how our brain learns. And when we do everything just perfect and we are holding still, we're not challenging enough to be able to get out of our base of support and be able to move past that area. So we have this very narrow area of balance that we can actually hold in. But when we challenge it, we can move on. Now, how do I talk about imperfection? Well, that's what imperfection, right? I mean, to get perfect, we need to be imperfect on getting there. We need to make those mistakes. That webinar is still up. You can go listen to the whole thing. There's exercises in it. It's on my website and in the show notes. So definitely go. It's free. Go check out the replay. But the key takeaway there is like let yourself learn and let yourself fail. You ended the webinar saying that we don't, as cheerleaders, we strive to be perfect, right? We want our routines to be perfect. We want to be coming out and looking perfect out in the field. And I 100% agree with that. We want to be solid and perfect when we're out there. We need to hit our stunts 10 out of 10 times. We need to not be hitting our head when we're doing a back handspring 10 out of 10 times. But there will sometimes be things out of our control that may make us not hit perfectly when we're actually outperforming. And we can take that and be completely just devastated and disappointed, or we can take that and learn from that and do better at the next time, the next competition, the next practice, the next game. We need to be able to recognize that not every time is going to be perfect. I if you if you pay attention to me on social media or you've been following my the podcast and on YouTube, you'll see I am far from perfect. I like things to look nice and to go nice and to be just so. But I also know it's important to try. And the more that we try and put ourselves out there, maybe it doesn't come off perfectly. That's okay because the message is still getting there. If you work with me in the clinic, like people come in, like they have to have perfectly still posture. And I know I'm really bad. I'm going to get up tall and be tight. No, I want you to relax. We strive for perfection in all our lives and everything that we do on our grades, and cheer, in uh, our yards. We gotta relax a little bit. We gotta let our bodies be chill sometimes. There is time to strive for perfection, to work at it, but be okay with not being perfect. Because there is moments in life that life is just messy and not perfect. Like for instance, the hurricanes. Like my heart is breaking right now. And I'm been so anxious. And I do have a family member in Fort Myers. And I know he's going to be safe. I'm not concerned, but I don't know anybody else along the coast really. My business coach and other coaches that I've talked to, I know there's a ton of cheerleaders down there. And I know that you're struggling. And you strive to be, to have a perfect life. And then Mother Nature hits. This is a fact of life. It's going to happen. Life is not always perfect. And when we always strive for perfection, we're always teaching kids, you have to be perfect. You have to look just so. You have to hit. And when you don't, you're in trouble and we're going to berate you for it. It doesn't teach your kids to be able to flow with the rest of life. And that's where we hold on to tension in our body and we create more stress. That's where we stop moving and stop actually trying things that potentially could be where mental blocks come in, or we're just freezing because we're scared, because if we fail and we mess up, then it's, what is so and so going to think of us? I don't, I'm in every client that I work with, like, yes, I strive for perfect form. I also let them wobble a little when they need to. If they're doing some balance work, they have to get that challenge and wobble in there. And I can't berate them, you know, for when they don't do their homework because it's life. I think it's important to do your homework if you're in physical therapy. I think it's important to work out or move every day. But sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes you can't. And if you hang on to that and it's just going to stress you out. We have to learn how to manage that and know, okay, it's not perfect, but I did something. Or it's, hey, my balance isn't perfect yet, but look at that. I was able to step farther and move a little bit more. Maybe your stunt is just a little wobbly and you're on the ground and you try and you let yourself just, you know, go onto an uneven surface and try and hit that stunt on the uneven surface and you're wobbling all over the place. But then your brain catches on. It's like, hey, this ain't bad. And then you go up and you hit it. That's how we learn from that struggle. People in Florida, and this is that I don't like this way that they have to learn, but they're learning that they're coming together as a community. They're learning power of community. They're learning power of Mother Nature and God and the universe and how they need to how they're having to live and they're learning and living through this experience. And the more we live through our experiences and not worry about the perfection, more bandwidth we have to be able to handle that in the long run. I think they're so strong for being able to handle that. They've had hurricanes, and I think everybody is just crazy strong to be able to handle that. I pray that everybody is okay and that it just stops and just stops. When we strive for perfection and in stunting and tumbling, let's talk stunting. We're trying to improve our balance and we're trying to hold steady and still. The more we hold steady, the less range we have. Yeah, you want to be steady and still, but you need to learn how to contract those muscles and relax those muscles. And there will be some wiggle room in there. And the better you allow yourself not to fall, not to be all over the place, but to be learning what it feels like, putting that intention into your body and exploring that movement and getting to know what it feels like, the better you're going to be able to course correct. And your brain will be able to tell you where you need to be in space. And so imperfect is a part of being perfect. We need to have that struggle. We need to embrace it and make that part of us and be okay with I can't do it. I'm sorry, or I'm doing my best. And that's a key takeaway. Are you doing your best? Are you putting your all in? Are you letting yourself learn? Are you like trying? If so, then you're doing a great job. If not, maybe that's a little imperfect. And where can you course correct on that to get yourself back on track? Perfection is something to be worked at. And when we are exercising, I do stress perfect form. And I do think that's massively important. You need to be able to own your breath and make sure that your body knows how to diaphragmatically breathe while you're working out or while you're cheering. But there's a learning process that happens in that, and it doesn't happen overnight. And to be okay with that and to be able to teach our athletes and yourselves that it's okay if you make a mistake. You just got to get up and try it again. And the next time it could be better, would be going in the right direction. If you have questions about that, please reach out and let me know. If you're interested in that balance webinar, that is live and on my website in the links. I'm starting a masterclass on ankles and how that affects balance. And we're going to talk about 5 different things that you can do to help improve your ankles. We'll talk about mobility and different diseases and lots of exercise. It's going to be dripped out over a couple of days. Like I said, I'm not perfect. This is my first time doing a masterclass. I'm getting the hang of doing webinars. When I did the webinar, my camera wasn't exactly right. I sent out weird emails. Everything was like off, but it happened and it flowed. And hopefully people got something of it. And hopefully you will if you go listen to it. Um, so the masterclass, I don't expect it to be perfect. This is my first time. I hope to learn from it, and I want to know what I can do to improve on it for the next go around. Taking a chance in not being perfect, or putting the effort in to make myself be better, and that's the key. Are we 1% better and making progress in that direction. That's, to me, is what perfect is. So if you're interested in that, you get a big discount if you sign up for the webinar. And that will be up, and you can watch at your own convenience. That all that stuff is in those show notes. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If you are interested in working with me and learning how to move, how to breathe better, how to move through and start to get in tune with your body so that you have a bigger range to improve your balance and get into other exercises, there's a link in that website also that you can schedule a call. All you have to do is send me an email and just say call, and I can get you all that information, or send me a message on social media. I hope if you're listening to this in Florida or anywhere in the South that got hit by Helene, know that I'm praying for you. It's gonna get better. It might take some time, and just have the faith, and I pray for all those who lost lives or lost their loved ones and are struggling still. One day at a time, everything will turn around eventually. On that note, don't forget, when in doubt, breathe it out. There's never more time like the present to focus on that. If you're feeling that anxiety coming and going through the storm, just take a breath out. It helps. Take life one step at a time. You can't change tomorrow. You can't change yesterday. Put yourself one step forward, and that's all you've got. So I also had my anniversary yesterday, and we've been married now for 29 years. It has been far from perfect. We have fought so many times. We have thought about splitting up quite a couple times, not quite a few times, but argued about it. And we always find a way to come back, because that's how we learn. We talk to each other, and we are not perfect. We embrace those imperfections, and we grow from it every day. One step at a time. You can do it. And you can do anything but you put your mind to. If you don't hit it the first time, it's okay. Go try it again. You can do anything you put your mind to. And like my friend Drew Kelleher said before he passed away, you are responsible for your own vibes. You can hold on to that angst. You can push yourself so hard that you are sick and painful and sore because you're trying to be perfect, or you can let yourself exhale and realize that it's the progress that is the journey. Embrace that progress. Bring a good vibe. Send out some good vibes into the world, and some good vibes into the South right now. Wishing you all peace. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.